This is Atlantic Television Network. Welcome to Global News. First, the highlights. Edo Assembly comments below on projects delivery. Tinubu inaugurates APC conflict resolution panel. Khan speaks on security consciousness. NNPC, 12 others fail ICPC integrity test. Bangladesh Prime Minister returns after 17 years in exile. Algeria captain leads AFCON top scorers. Actress Doris Ogala enters dialogue with Chris Okafor. Deputy Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, Atu Osamoyi, has described the project embarked upon by Governor Monday Kwebelo as life-changing. Osamoyi would disclose this when he led members of the legislature on inspection to several ongoing infrastructural projects in Benin, and the projects were unprecedented in the history of the state, and the lawmakers were at project sites to verify the progress of work and ensure that funds appropriated by the Assembly were being judiciously used. According to him, the flyover has been constructed on Sapele Road, and Ikpoba Hill represented a milestone for the state and reflects the governor's commitment to infrastructural renewal. Abia State Governor Alex Oti says more than 32,000 applicants have applied for the second batch of recruitment of 4,000 additional teachers, while underscoring the renewed attractiveness of teaching positions in the state. Governor Oti, who disclosed these at the funeral service of the late Chief Emmanuel Emalso Oluejij Eje Mbawan, held at Umekebe in Isialangwa South Local Government Area, following a service conducted by the Asia Mount Vosi District Aba North Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, said his administration has restored the dignity of the teaching profession, making it more appealing than other civil service positions in the state. The governor assured that all applicants in the ongoing recruitment exercise would be assessed strictly on merit, as was done during the previous exercise, and also highlighted ongoing construction and renovation of school buildings across the state, stressing that the initiative is aimed at restoring schools to their former standards and provide a conducive learning environment. Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has extended warm felicitations to Christians in the state and across Nigeria as they celebrate Christmas and prepare to enter the new year. In his goodwill message, Soludo said Christmas, which is a commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ, represents the embodiment of hope, love, peace, and redemption values that resonate significantly with the collective aspirations for a better society and nation. A statement by Soludo's press secretary, Christian Aburime, said the governor enjoined all Christians to practice the true essence of Christmas by extending love and generosity to those around them, particularly the less privileged in the communities. The statement read in part, the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has conveyed his special festive felicitations to India Anambra and indeed all Christians across Nigeria on the happy occasion of the celebration of Christmas. Soludo also encouraged everyone to remember Nigeria in their prayers this season by praying for peace, prosperity and progress in our land, and for divine wisdom for our leaders at all levels of governance to steer the ship of state towards greater heights. Enugu State High Court has sentenced two former bankers, Sani Aforeke and Hilary Odo, to a combined 12-year jail term for criminally diverting 10.3 million naira belonging to pensioners. The suspects were convicted on a 15-count charge, bordering on conspiracy, forgery and stealing of the state sum. According to a statement on the official X, formerly Twitter handle of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the conviction was secured by the Enugu Zonal Directorate of the EFCC before Justice A.O. Onovo. The EFCC said the convicts were former employees of Intercontinental Bank PLC, now known as Access Bank PLC, and were arraigned on January 18, 2016 on a 15-count charge bordering on conspiracy, forgery and stealing, and the offences were contrary to Section 459A of the Criminal Code Law Cap 30, Laws of Enugu State, Nigeria, 2004. One of the charges said the convicts, on or about November 21, 2012, in Nsukka, while serving as employees of Intercontinental Bank PLC, now Access Bank PLC, stole the sum of 4.4 million naira from a customer's account, an offence contrary to Section 459, Paragraph A of the Criminal Code Law of Enugu State, thereby committing an offence under the law. 7 people have been confirmed to have sustained varying degrees of burns in the fire that broke out at the 22-story Great Nigeria Insurance House on Martin Street, Lagos Island, and have been hospitalized. The fire reportedly affected several nearby structures, including the 7-story Radio Nigeria building, the popular Oluwole Plaza, a mosque, and other adjoining buildings. The spokesperson for the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Nosa Okombo, who confirmed the incident in an updated release on Christmas Day, urged residents and traders in the area to evacuate immediately. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has on Thursday felicitated Christians in the state and across the country on this year's Christmas, urging them to continue to live in love and harmony with one another and with their neighbors. The governor, who made this known in a Christmas message released by his special advisor on media, Sulaiman Olariwanju, in Ibadan. The state capital also described Christmas as a season of love as well as commemoration of the birth of Jesus Christ, and urged Christians to reflect the spirit of love in line with the teachings of Jesus Christ. Makinde also counseled residents of the state to remain security conscious as they celebrate the Yuletide, stressing that safeguarding the state is a collective responsibility of both the government and the people, and also charged residents to report suspicious movements to security agencies through the citizen emergency number 615, reiterating that the principle of if you see something, say something remains in force. About 5 people are feared dead following a fresh attack by suspected armed headers on Otese community along the Uyungu Azayogo Road in Guma local government area, local government of Benue State, I beg your pardon. The attack was also left several residents injured, while many others were reportedly abducted and taken to undisclosed locations by the assailants, and the death toll had increased, as numerous residents are still missing, with youths in the area conducting search operations in nearby bushes. Residents said the attackers blocked the Otese Yogbo Road, ambushing victims both on the highway and the surrounding bushes as people attempted to flee, while several other residents were reportedly captured, life possibly taken away, raising fears over their safety and whereabouts. The attack has thrown the Otese community into panic, with many residents fleeing their homes as insecurity worsens and the police public relations officer DSP Udeme Edet could not be reached for comment. Kogi State Governor Ahmed Ododo has called on Christians to seize the sacred moment of Christmas to pray fervently for Nigeria and to live lives of service, humility, love, and sacrifice as exemplified by the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. A statement issued on Thursday in Lokoja by the Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Famwo, said Governor Ododo described Christmas as a season of deep reflection, spiritual renewal, and recommitment to the values that bind humanity together, urging Christian citizens to place the nation at the center of their prayers. He also called on Nigerians to pray for President Bola Tinubu, asking God to continue to grant him wisdom, strength, and good health as he leads the country through a critical period of economic reforms and national renewal. Ododo commended Tinubu's reforms, describing them as bold and people-focused, and noted that they were already expanding opportunities and prosperity across the country, with Kogi State benefiting from improved fiscal space, increased investment, and renewed confidence in governance, adding that the impact of these reforms has enabled this administration to deepen investments in infrastructure, security, human capital development, and social welfare, thereby improving the quality of life of the people of Kogi State. He urged citizens to continue to support the president's reform agenda and his administration's development programs. stressing that sustainable progress can only be achieved through patience, unity, and shared responsibility, and further reassured the people of Kogi State of his commitment to people-centered governance, accountability, and inclusive development, while encouraging them to use the Christmas season to promote peace, kindness, and compassion in their communities. Minister of Federal Capital Territory, FCT Barrister Yusuf Miki, has urged for FCT residents, especially Christians, to pray for Nigeria and its leaders at Christmas. Miki, in his Christmas message, said it is pertinent to also appreciate the good people of the FCT for their cooperation and support for the administration all through the year 2025. According to him, Christmas is the celebration of the birth of the Jesus Christ all over the world, and also a season of joy, giving, sharing, and good neighborliness. Catholic Diocese of Kotangora has confirmed that all children and staff abducted from St. Mary's Catholic Church schools, Papiri in Niger, have been rescued and reunited with their families. Reverend Bulus Johanna, Catholic Diocese of Kotangora and proprietor of St. Mary Catholic Private Primary and Secondary School, in a statement on Thursday said a total of 230 persons comprising 12 staff members, 14 students, and 204 pupils were verified to have been abducted and later rescued through the efforts of the federal and Niger state government as well as security agencies. Johanna said all rescued children had been reunited with their families, adding that no report had been received indicating that any child remained missing. Adding that immediately after the abduction on November 21, an initial head count showed that 315 persons were unaccounted for. Johanna said the discrepancies were not intended to mislead the public, but were the result of challenges associated with a fast-evolving and emotionally charged situation, and expressed gratitude to the government and security agencies for their intervention, as well as to parents, the Christian community, the media, and the public for their prayers, patience, and support. He also prayed for healing and restoration for all affected families. Hundreds of Muslims from across northern Nigeria joined Christians at the Christmas service of Christ Evangelical and Life Intervention Ministry in Kaduna in a display of interfaith unity aimed at promoting peaceful coexistence. The general overseer of the church, Pastor Johanna Buru, said the participation of Muslims in the annual Christmas celebration had become a long-standing tradition, drawing attendees from across the 19 northern states, adding that Muslim delegations also presented gifts to the church as symbols of love, friendship, and unity between the two faiths. According to him, the celebration came at a time of economic hardship, insecurity, rising food prices, poverty, and unemployment, stressing that interfaith cooperation and prayers were critical to national stability, stressing that hundreds of Muslims had consistently attended the church's Christmas services over the years, reflecting the growing strength of interreligious ties in northern Nigeria. Buru called on religious leaders to intensify prayers for peace and urged Nigerians to support the Nigerian Army and other security agencies in addressing security challenges. Speaking at the event, an Islamic scholar, Sheikh Salihu Mai Barota, said Muslims attended the service to celebrate with Christians, promote peace, and encourage religious tolerance, and also urged adherents of both faiths to continue praying for peace and advise youths to shun religious violence and avoid spreading fake news on social media. Taraba State Governor Dr. Agbu Kefas has called on residents of the state to celebrate Christmas with joy, gratitude, and a strong sense of responsibility, stressing that safety and peace must remain paramount during the festive period. In his Christmas broadcast on Thursday in the Wukari Council, the governor said the season offers an opportunity for reflection on love, sacrifice, hope, and peace, as well as a time to strengthen unity among families, communities, and the people of Taraba State, and urged citizens to conduct themselves responsibly in their homes, on the roads, in markets, places of worship, and other public spaces, stressing that celebrations should never endanger lives or disrupt public peace. Governor Kefas reassured residents that the state government has placed security at the top of its priorities, announcing that security agencies have been fully deployed across the state and called on the public to cooperate with security personnel by remaining law-abiding, staying vigilant, and promptly reporting any suspicious activities. Addressing farmers, traders, workers, youths, women, elders, and children, the governor reaffirmed his administration's commitment to protecting lives and property, creating opportunities for prosperity, and maintaining Taraba as a peaceful state where residents can work, worship, and conduct business without fear. The governor also encouraged residents to use the Christmas season to forgive, reconcile, support the vulnerable, and show kindness to one another irrespective of tribe, religion, or social status, emphasizing that peace is a collective responsibility while wishing the people of Taraba State a peaceful, safe, and joyful Christmas, that the new year will bring greater unity, renewed hope, and continued progress to the state and the nation. Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Mohammed has extended warm greetings to Christian faithful in the state and across Nigeria on the occasion of the 2025 Christmas celebration, urging citizens to embrace peace, love, tolerance, and unity. The governor, in his Christmas goodwill message issued by his special advisor on media and publicity, Mokhtar Gidado, described Christmas as a period that underscores the virtues of peace, honesty, love for one another, and the fear of God. He said the values symbolized by the birth of Jesus Christ should be embraced by all, regardless of religious, ethnic, or political differences, to promote peaceful coexistence in Bauchi State, adding that the Christmas season offers an opportunity for reflection, prayer, and renewal, and called on residents to seek divine forgiveness and strengthen bonds of love and respect for one another. Governor Mohammed also scored on the need for unity and collective responsibility in building communities and developing the state, as well as encouraging citizens to exchange visits, share gifts, and promote harmony with adherents of other faiths. He reassured Christians in the state of his administration's commitments to inclusive governance, justice, and fairness, while appreciating their resilience and understanding in the face of what he described as divisive and misleading narratives, stressing that the unity of the people remains a strong defense against intolerance and falsehood. Sokoto State Governor Ahmed Ali, who has rolled out new initiatives to intensify the fight against banditry, saying his administration is determined to make the menace a thing of the past. The governor, who disclosed this while declaring open the 17th regular State Executive Council meeting in Sokoto, described the development as the last council session for the year 2025, adding that banditry has been a major cause of rural insecurity in Sokoto, characterized by violent attacks, mass displacement of villagers, livestock rustling, kidnappings for ransom, and disruption of socio-economic activities. Ali said the new measures which complement ongoing security efforts are designed to strengthen intelligence gathering and improve coordination with security agencies, adding that existing strategies were already yielding positive results. According to him, since assuming office, his administration has consistently supported security agencies with logistics and other critical resources to boost their operational capacity across the 13 local government areas affected by banditry. Ali appealed to residents to continue supporting government efforts and to collaborate with security agencies by providing timely and useful information. About 4 people have been confirmed dead and 14 others injured after a bomb exploded inside Al-Adum Jamaat Mosque in Gamboro Market, Maiduguri, Borno State during a Maghrib prayer in the evening. The spokesperson for the Borno State Police Command, ASP Nahum Daso, said the 4 fatalities were confirmed at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, while efforts are ongoing to ascertain the condition of those taken to other hospitals. The bomb explosion occurred amid heightened security concerns. In this region, separately on Wednesday, troops of the 3rd Division and Joint Task Force Operation Enduring Peace disrupted a gun-running syndicate in Vom community, just south local government area, Plateau State, arresting 3 suspects and recovering 2 locally fabricated AK-47 rifles, ammunition, knives, and mobile phones. The spokesman for the JTF, Major Samson Zakom, confirmed the arrest of the suspect, and the operation was met with resistance from misguided women and youths who blocked the road, fired at the troops, and pelted personnel and operational vehicles with stones. Borno State Police Command has deployed over 1,000 officers across major streets, flashpoints, and churches as Christians celebrate Christmas following a bomb blast that killed 5 people and injured 35 others at the mosque on Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. when worshippers had gathered at the Al-Adum Mosque for prayers in Gamboro Market, Maiduguri. Spokesman for the Borno State Police Command, Nahum Daso, said although security measures were already in place, Wednesday's incident necessitated heightened security arrangements and in collaboration with other security agencies who dominate all worship centers and recreational facilities, while urging residents to go about their lawful activities. The police public relations officer called on members of the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious movement, adding that individuals would be screened before gaining access to worship centers, including churches and mosques, while the Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum condemned the bomb attack on the mosque, describing it as inhumane and barbaric. A statement issued by his special advisor on media, Dauda Iliya, called for increased vigilance and heightened security measures, particularly at places of worship during the festive period, and further assured residents that adequate measures had been taken to forestall any security breach during the festive period and beyond. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated a committee on strategy, conflict resolution and mobilization to address internal conflicts for Progressives Congress ahead of the 2027 general elections. The committee comprises governors of the party, members of the Federal Executive Council, and other notable stakeholders, and according to Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, the committee has the governor of Yobe State, Mai Malaboni, as chairman, and Muis Banere, former legal advisor of the APC, as member and secretary. Other members include Senator Adamu Aliero, chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak of Kwara State, chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Hope Uzodima of Imo State, Governors Hyacinth Alia Benue, Umar Namadi Jigawa, Basi Otu Cross River, Abiodun Oyebanji Ekiti, and Sheriff Oboreveri Delta. Also as part of the panel are Governors Obasani Kaduna, Simona Laif Ubara Rivers, Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, and former Governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. At the inauguration, Governor Bunia expressed gratitude for his appointment as chairman and reaffirmed the committee's commitments to its mandate and not to allow personal interest or sentiments to override the general public purpose of the committee. Vice President Kashim Shettima says the federal government is deploying additional tactical teams to Maiduguri, Borno State following a terrorist attack to track down and apprehend those responsible. This is coming after suspected terrorists blasted one Al-Adum mosque in Gamboru Market, Maiduguri, when worshippers had gathered for prayers. A statement via his X page on Thursday condemned the explosion that claimed 5 lives and left several others injured, describing it as a despicable assault on innocent citizens and the peace of the nation, and expressed confidence that the existing security framework would not only apprehend the perpetrators, but also unravel the full circumstances surrounding the incident. He assured the Nigerians of the Tinubu administration's unwavering commitment to national security anchored in constitutional duty. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Tajuddin Abbas, has condemned Wednesday's mosque attack in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, describing it as barbaric and a grave assault on the nation's conscience. The attack, which occurred during prayers, left several worshippers dead and others injured. A statement issued on Thursday by his special advisor on media and publicity, Musa Krishi Abbas, said the incident represents the height of wickedness and a direct assault on the soul of the nation, and commended security agencies for their sacrifices in protecting lives and property, expressing confidence that the security situation would continue to improve with the federal government's sustained efforts to combat criminality. The speaker also said those responsible for the attack would not succeed in their aims in their bid to divide and derail the march towards a secure and prosperous Nigeria, and further prayed for the eternal repose of the deceased, quick recovery for the injured, and strength for the bereaved families. Christian Association of Nigeria has called on churches across the country to mark the Christmas season with hope, wisdom, and heightened security consciousness following Nigeria's lingering economic and security challenges. This is coming after the Catholic Bishop of Sokoto Diocese, Most Reverend Matthew Hassan Kuka, described the killings and violence against children in the country. In a Christmas message signed by its president, Archbishop Daniel Okokan, urged churches, particularly those in conflict-prone areas, to take practical steps to ensure the safety of worshippers, and also encouraged Christian leaders and congregations to exercise vigilance and a deep sense of responsibility during worship, stressing that the protection of human life is sacred and must remain paramount. Churches in areas with inadequate security presence were advised to consider holding services in several locations or organizing smaller gatherings that can be better protected, adding that in December 2023, gunmen killed over 140 Plateau State villagers in a Christmas attack, and appealed to security agencies to step up their presence around churches and other places of worship during the Christmas period for encouraging closer collaboration between religious bodies and law enforcement authorities to ensure peaceful celebrations. He also said the birth of Jesus Christ remains a reminder of God's abiding love and the triumph of light over darkness, while urging Christians to live out core values such as love, peace, patience, sacrifice, and compassion, and renew their commitment to peace, justice, and unity. Nigeria's police Forces Special Tactical Squad has arrested one correctional center escapee and 21 other suspects across several states in connection with armed robbery, kidnapping, banditry, cattle rustling, car snatching, as well as economic sabotage, impersonation, and cat and drug trafficking. According to the police, the operations conducted following intelligence-led investigations also led to the recovery of 6 firearms, including an LAR rifle, AK-49 and AK-47 rifles, a pump-action gun, an SMG rifle, and 2 live rounds of ammunition. 45 additional exhibits were recovered, including vehicles, motorcycles, illicit drugs, and other items suspected to have been used in criminal activities. The Force Public Relations Officer at CSP Benjamin Hundeyin, who disclosed this in a statement issued on Thursday, said in a major operation along the Kaduna-Abuja Expressway, STS operatives intercepted a J5 vehicle conveying 13 brand new motorcycles alongside weapons and other incriminating items, adding that further investigations into the matter have led to the arrest of a 35-year-old suspect, Luke Ifeanyi, in connection with armed robbery and economic sabotage. He also said investigations into all cases are ongoing and the suspects will be charged to court upon completion of investigations, while commending the operatives for their courage and professionalism, the force's commitment to protecting lives, dismantling criminal networks, and ensuring public safety. National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Tanimu Turaki, has urged Nigerians, to embrace love, sacrifice, and humility during the Christmas celebration. A statement in Abuja by Turaki extended warm felicitations to Christian members of the party and the wider Nigerian Christian community to embrace the values exemplified by Jesus Christ, which are capable of transforming the life of Nigerians and stimulate economic prosperity. According to him, Christmas remains a reminder of collective resilience and shared responsibility in building a stronger and more united nation, and also assured Nigerians of the party's commitment to promoting such values in politics, saying they held the key to the nation's collective aspirations while expressing optimism for a new year filled with God's abundant blessings. Minister of State for Petroleum and Resources, Oil, Heineken Lokpebiri, has urged the Office of the Head of the Civil Service to prioritize capacity building for ministers and civil servants to ensure the success of Nigeria's push towards a fully digital public service. Lokpebiri, who disclosed this in Abuja during the flag-off of the Enterprise Content Management System at the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, warning that many public officials still operate in analog mode despite the federal government's digitalization drive, and called for said he is still struggling to fully adapt to the newer digital work processes and would require additional training to effectively operate within the system. The ECMS deployed on the OneGov cloud platform is designed to replace manual, paper-based processes with electronic approvals, automated workflows, and secure digital record keeping, significantly reducing delays associated with file movements across offices, and described the initiative as transformative, stressing that Nigeria had for too long relied on cumbersome manual processes that slowed decision-making and increased operational costs. He commended the head of the Civil Service of the Federation for driving the reform, stressing that digital systems would strengthen institutions, improve resource utilization, and unlock greater value across the oil and gas sector through efficient information management and record keeping. In her address, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mrs. Didi Esther Wilson-Jack, said the deployment of the ECMS places the Ministry of Petroleum Resources on track to meet the federal government's directive on full digitalization of work processes by December 31, 2025. She explained that the initiative aligns with President Bola Tinubu's public service reform agenda, which seeks to build an efficient, accountable, and digitally enabled civil service capable of translating policy into results. And now to some business news. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and 12 other ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government recorded zero in the Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission. According to reports, NNPC ranks last, scoring zero across all 4 key pillar indicators, adding that the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission is the highest-rated agency, scoring 91.83, while the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission was 278 on the list with a score of 38.25. According to the ICPC, the Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard was conceived as a diagnostic and accountability tool to strengthen transparency, ethical conduct, and institutional resilience within Nigeria's public sector, and has evolved into a vital benchmark for measuring compliance across 4 key pillar indicators of management, culture, and structure, as well as financial management systems. Others are administrative systems and the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, which collectively capture the critical dimensions of ethics and governance within the public service. Earlier, the ICPC chairman, Dr. Ali Musa, who was represented by the director of the System Study and Review Department, Mr. Olusegun Adegun, said the assessment exposed widespread weaknesses in ethical standards and institutional integrity across government agencies. The NNPC spokesman, Andy Ode, could not be reached as of the time of filing this report. And now, international tidbits. About 48 Nigerians have been arrested in Ghana over alleged romance scams, online investment fraud, and other cybercrime-related offences. The arrest came less than a week after no fewer than 42 Nigerians were deported from Ghana's Ashanti region over alleged prostitution, fraud, and other related offences, a development disclosed by the Ashanti Regional Minister Frank Amwa Kohene in a Facebook post on Thursday, December 18, 2025. Although the exact date of the latest arrest was not disclosed, Ghana's Minister for Communication, Samuel George, said in a Facebook post that the suspects were apprehended during a coordinated raid by joint security agencies in the Dawenha area. According to him, the operation was carried out by the Cyber Security Authority of Ghana in collaboration with the National Security and Ghana Police Service, following actionable cyber intelligence, and the suspects were linked to several cyber-related crimes, including romance scams, online investment fraud, impersonation schemes, and illicit online gold trading. Items recovered during the raid included 54 laptops, 39 mobile phones, and 1 Starlink internet device and 8 MTN TurboNet routers. Tariq Rahman, the frontrunner to be the next Prime Minister of Bangladesh, has returned to the country after 17 years in exile ahead of landmark general elections. The 60-year-old is the figurehead of the influential Zia family and the son of former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia, and the Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP is eyeing a return to power when Bangladesh goes to the polls in the new year. Rahman, who has lived in London since 2008, is expected to become the country's new leader if the BNP emerges as the largest party and had been the subject of various criminal investigations launched while her Awami League party was in power but was cleared of all charges when her regime failed. Hasina is living in exile in India, and her party is unlikely to be permitted to take part in elections which many view as among the most consequential in Bangladesh's history. This is coming after last month. Hasina was sentenced to death for her role in suppressing anti-government protests after she was put on trial in absentia, but denied committing crimes against humanity. Pope Leo XIV has condemned the war in Gaza and Ukraine and called for lasting peace among warring nations in the world. In Bethlehem, the Christian community celebrated its first festive Christmas in more than 2 years as the occupied West Bank city emerged from the shadow of war in Gaza. This is coming after Pope Leo was elected in May following the death of his predecessor, Pope Francis, and following the incident, the UN said an estimated 1.3 million people currently need shelter assistance in Gaza and has warned of an increasing risk of hypothermia as temperatures dip. Hundreds of worshippers also gathered for Mass at the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem on Wednesday night as the Palestinian city marked its first festive Christmas during the Gaza war. And throughout the conflict that began with Hamas's attack on Israel in October 2023, a somber tone had marked Christmases in the biblical birthplace of Jesus Christ. Bar celebrations returned Wednesday with parades and music in the West Bank city as the fragile truce held in Gaza, where hundreds of thousands of people face winter in makeshift tents. And here now is ATN Sports News. Algeria captain Riyad Mahrez is currently the leading joint top scorer at the ongoing 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON in Morocco. This comes following the conclusion of the AFCON group stage match day round of fixtures, and Mahrez has 2 goals to his name alongside Senegal striker Nicolas Jackson and Tunisia star Elias Akouri. The former Manchester City winger netted a brace in Algeria's 3-0 win against, while Jackson scored a brace against Botswana, and Akouri scored 2 goals in his side's victory against Uganda. Tunisia midfielder Mejbri Hannibal says the win over Uganda has boosted the team's confidence going into the game with Nigeria. The North Africans overpowered the Cranes of Uganda 3-1 in their first game at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, adding that the Carthage Eagles will head into their next group game against Tunisia full of confidence. Tunisia and Nigeria will clash at the complex Sportive de Fez on Saturday, and the 2 teams have 3 points each in Group C, with Tunisia occupying top spot on goal differences. Regional rivals Uganda and Tanzania will clash in the other group game. Super Eagles midfielder Alex Iwobi has equaled a 12-year-old record held by former captain John Obi Mikel following Nigeria's 2-1 victory against Tanzania in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON opener on Tuesday night. Iwobi provided two crucial assists that proved decisive in Nigeria's victory against the Taifa Stars in Morocco, and the Fulham Stars set up the first goal with a brilliant cross that found defender Semi Ajayi headed home to give Eric Chelsea's men the lead in the first half. In the second half, Tanzania's Charles M. Mbomboa equalized for his team, but 2 minutes later, Iwobi once again rose to the occasion as he gave teammate Ademola Lookman a smart pass which the Atlanta forward fired in the winner for the Super Eagles. However, according to Opta, Iwobi is now the second Nigerian player since 2010 to provide 2 assists in a single AFCON match, matching the feat last achieved by Mikel Obi. Obi Mikel had provided 2 assists for the Super Eagles against Mali in February 2013, the year Nigeria secured their 3rd African trophy. Meanwhile, Iwobi will hope to continue his impressive display for Nigeria when they face Tunisia in their next AFCON tie on Saturday. And now, entertainment news. Nollywood actress Doris Ogala is having a dialogue about the ongoing controversy involving her and the founder of the Grace Nation Bible Ministry, Pastor Chris Okafor. This is coming after the actress was arrested by the Lagos State Police on Saturday for dragging Chris Okafor after he allegedly failed to fulfill his marriage promise to her. She was released on Monday afternoon after spending 2 nights in police custody, where the pastor allegedly begged her for a peaceful resolution. However, updating the public about the current state of her issues with the clergyman Doris, who has earlier requested compensation from Okafor, adding that table talks and resolution are ongoing. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Edo Assembly commends Okpebelo on project's delivery. Tinubu inaugurates APC conflict resolution panel. Khan speaks on security consciousness. NNPC 12 orders fail ICPC integrity test. Bangladesh Prime Minister returns after 17 years in exile. Algeria captain leads AFCON top scorers. Actress Doris Ogala enters dialogue with Chris Okafor. I am Favor. Chief Question Michael. Thank you for watching. You can follow our social media platforms on Twitter and X at Atlantic TV Net, on Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, and on Instagram at Atlantic TV Network. And don't forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Do have a wonderful night rest and Merry Christmas.